Ciao, buongiorno, and welcome back to Italian with Sandra. I hope you are enjoying these sessions, and I hope you're finding them useful. So please like and subscribe to my channel, and feel free to share it with whoever you may think you think it may be useful to. Today we're going to see something else, still a bit of, well, it is grammar, yes, but the grammar, as we've seen, is quite useful and essential if you're studying the language and you're not living in the country. Obviously, if you're living in Italy, then you can pick up the language in a more natural way, like children learn to speak. However, also children, and I'm talking about Italian children who are born in the country, and then they learn the language from their parents, basically, and then their little friends and family members, they still go to school and learn how to write everything they can say. And also in Italy, like other countries in Europe, they study grammar, the grammar of their own language, which makes it a lot easier, first of all, to understand your own language, but also to learn another one. That's why when I'm explaining something in Italian, I also mention the grammar of English, and I hope it does make sense. And maybe helps also to understand what the two languages do. Right, so what we're going to talk today are prepositions. Prepositions are all those little words that connect, some of those little words that connect the different words in a sentence. Prepositions are probably one of the most difficult things in every language because they don't have one simple translation, so they don't correspond. One preposition in one language does not correspond to one preposition in another language. Unfortunately, it's not very straightforward. And very often there are very few rules. So today we're going to see a couple of prepositions which do have rules in the context we're going to use them in. So let me share this picture, this image that I have. Here we have different examples with more than one preposition or different forms of the same prepositions. However, as I said, we're only going to concentrate on two of them. So we are going to concentrate on preposition a and preposition in. I'm gonna put my glasses on, otherwise I can't actually see them. Right, so here we're talking about these two prepositions followed by the verb andare. The verb andare means to go. And very important, you can have, in fact, you can replace this verb andare, or more than replace, you can actually add, we can add to the verb andare also the verb essere. Essere is to be, andare to go. And the reason why we can do that is, again, there is a difference between Italian and English, again, how in the way we use the prepositions after these two verbs. So in English, for example, when you're going to a place, or when you are in or at a place, you use two different prepositions. For example, if you are going we're going to use a city, we're going to London, then you use to if you are moving towards London, you're traveling towards London. But if you are already in the city, then you use in. I am in London, or I live in London. So in English, there is a difference between the preposition they use when you're moving or going to a place, or when you are stationary or staying in a place. In Italian is different, which is anyway, it's good news because we use exactly the same preposition when you are going to a place or when you are at or in the place. So let's take that as good news. That's the only good news, by the way. So let's see these two prepositions, as I said, a and in. And as I said, you can add to this verb andare, to go, you can add essere, to be. So as I said, there aren't really many rules. There are very, very few rules on how to use preposition and which preposition to use. It's more guidance, especially when we're talking about places. So as I said, we concentrate on these two, where we can find a rule, or we'll see also a bit of a pattern, some guidance mainly. So this one, they're giving us examples. We're not going to use all of them because then again, it's too much information. But we'll see what we can do with what we have in these boxes of examples. Let's start with preposition a. So if we are going to a place or we are in or at a place, we can use a in front of specific places. The only rule where we use a is, we can see it here, Roma, it's a city, and we have Cipro and Capri. So we use a, preposition a, when we are going to a city, to a town or village. So city, town, village, same principle really. When we are going or we are staying in a small island, like Cipro, which is Cyprus, or Capri, which is Capri, which are small islands. Now, I don't really have the difference, which one is the big island, which one is the small island. When does a small island become a big island? I don't have the information, I'm afraid. However, Capri, think about Capri, it's a very, very little island. And Cyprus, Cipro, also is not a big island. So as I said, this is the rule. We use andare a or essere a Roma, so cities, towns, villages, or Capri, so small islands. Instead, if we jump down here, still focusing on the rule that we have. We use in after andare. Remember, you can also have essere here. So we use in as a rule, remember, when we are going to or we are in a country. So we have here Inghilterra, which is England. And also, so countries, also regions in Italy. We have Toscana. Also counties, if we're talking about county in England. I don't know which county we are going to use. I don't know, let's go for, I don't want anyone to be left out. We're just going to use Sussex. West Sussex. So we're going to use in for countries, Inghilterra, Italia, for regions in Italy, like Toscana, in Lombardia, in Liguria. Counties in England, we said in West Sussex, in Surrey, in Devon, in Dorset, wherever you are. So these are two rules. The other one, we use in with big islands. So Sardinia is a big island. Sicilia is a big island. Corsica is also a big island. And again, I don't have, you know, the measurements when an island it becomes big enough to have preposition in or small enough to have preposition a. So little recap. Andare o essere, so to go or to be, to go to a place or be in a place, we use a with cities, towns, villages, and with small islands. Instead, we use in with countries, regions in Italy, big islands, and also I added counties in England, obviously in other countries as well. So these are the only rules when it comes to prepositions followed by places. The others are, as I said, a bit more guidance. For example, here they're giving you some examples. There is a very short list of some places where we use a after andare and essere, remember. So one is casa, when you're going home or you are at home. One is teatro. One is letto. We also have scuola, school. And we have messa, which is mass. So casa, home. Teatro, theater. Letto, bed. Scuola, school. We do have one. We have lezione when you're going to a lesson or you are at a lesson. And we have scuola here. The other one is messa, which is mass. You may not use it as often, really. I guess this one is useful. You can see it's separate, but it is a very useful one, really, if you remember it. We're not because we were talking about places more than other things. That's why this is separate. These are their verbs. So if you're going to sleep, you're going to dance, you're going to work, you're going to eat, then you use a in front of the infinitive of the verbs. So a little recap, you're using a with places, with a rule, cities, towns, villages, small islands. That's the rule. Otherwise, there is a very short list of places. Casa, scuola, we have lezione if you're at a lesson, theater, and bed. So really you can think about 5 places where you need a. The other one, if you do remember it, it's very useful. We use a when we have a verb used in the infinitive form. When it comes to in, we are repeating again or recapping. The rule is that we use in with countries, counties, regions, and big islands. So these are the rules. You can see here they've added other places. So here we don't really have, we have a guidance. However, some are really useful. You can use in when you're talking about means of transport. Obviously, these are not places. However, you can start learning which preposition to use for certain groups of words, let's say. So these are not places, but they're means of transport. So if you're saying andare in treno, in autobus, in macchina, in metropolitana, aereo, moto, bici, it's like saying go by train, by bus. So it's an easy way to use the preposition in. There are other options, but this is the easiest one. You don't have to worry about anything else in between in and the means of transport. And as you can see here, we have some examples. So here, because there is no rule, you just need to learn them as you go along, really. When you learn a new word or you see it, a new place, you see it in a sentence, that you start learning not just the word, but also which preposition do I need if I'm going or I am staying in a certain place. A little guidance, as I said, you can group certain places just to make things a little bit easier to remember. One is rooms of the house. For example, in cucina, in the kitchen, in bagno, in the bathroom, in camera da letto, in the bedroom. What else do we have? In salotto, in the lounge. So we use in with rooms of the house. Also in giardino, in the garden. We do have cucina in here. Useful, again, little group that you can think of is in città, in the city, in campagna, in montagna. So if you are in the city, country, or mountain, then you use in again. So as I said, these are just little groups that you can, as I said, kind of put together just to make it easier. But remember, it's not necessarily it's not that it's not a rule. All the other places, or most places, we don't have a rule, so you just have to learn it. So we'll stop at these two for now. So preposition a and preposition in, which in English, how do you translate a or in? It depends. Are you going to the place or you are at or in the place? So both prepositions in this context, you can translate with to, if you're going to the place, going to Rome, going to England, going to Sicily. You can translate it with in, if you're saying, I am in Rome, I am in England, in Sicily. Or you translate it with at. For example, you can be at school, you can be at home, at the theater. So you can translate it with at least 3 prepositions in English. And that's why, as I said at the beginning, prepositions are some of the most difficult things really to learn, because there are so many few rules. I'll stop sharing, and I realized I've got a sun in my face. If you're wondering, am I ever going to sort out the lighting for these sessions? The answer probably is probably not. It may not happen, also because I move quite a bit, so it'd be very difficult to travel with the whole lighting and whatever else. But the most important thing really is not necessarily my face, or the quality of maybe for somebody is, but I'm hoping that the grammar instead is more useful than anything else. Right, so we are finished for today. These were the prepositions after the verb to go or to be. Preposition a and preposition in. Do like, subscribe, share, and do let me know if you find this useful, and if there is anything else that you'd like to know, and I'll make sure that I'll publish a session on those things. So that is it for today. I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Ciao.